Hey guys, how is everybody today? So today we are doing live Q&A with me. It's been an interesting day. All right, guys, as you're coming in, make sure you hashtag I am here so I can see you. I'm just tagging a few people. I see one person's here. Who else can I tag? Let me know you're here. Who do I have with me? Probably one of my faithfuls. I see I have a, oh, hey, Jennifer, how are you? And this is Q&A. So I do a regular tribe talk, but I'm doing Q&A today. It's your opportunity to ask me questions. I am just tagging a few people to see who is coming. And I didn't tag you, did I? All right. I have 3 people. So, hey guys, how are you? Make sure you hashtag I am here and let me know your name because I can't always see your names. I have Jennifer with me. I see I've got a couple more people. Today is all about you guys. So it's your opportunity to ask me questions that I normally have a topic to talk about, but it's been a while since I've done Q&A. So if you've got a question, I did look in the comments earlier. I didn't see any. Make sure you drop them. Make sure you drop them in the comments. I'm not sure who you are. I just see Facebook users. So for you have to hashtag I am here, and you have to let me know what your name is. I do say, hey Jules, I saw your tag, and I'm here. Questions are still looking for 30 women. Oh, I bet you that's Kendra. No, that was something that I did a few months ago. So the question was am I still doing my 30-day program? No, that was a program that I was running before. You can anytime join me, however. So I do run specials every once in a while, or I should say like promos. The promo that I had, I did a giveaway earlier this week, and I had 2 winners on that. And right now, I don't have any real specific things going on, but I'm always open to programs. You can join us at any time, Kendra. All right, Jennifer, protein bars or supplements, what is good for on the go? Well, girl, you're about to find out, aren't you? So either one is, but all protein bars and supplements are not created equal. I will tell you that. So you've got to be really careful. So first of all, let me start with this. Whenever you can eat food, that is the best option. Okay. So actually chewing your food is a good option because digestion, all of that, you really want to, this all burns calories. This is all much better for you than actually drinking. Now, do I actually supplement a lot of clients with protein shakes? I 1,000% do. Why? Because it's really hard for women to get protein in. So a lot of times I will sub with a protein shake for snacks every once in a while. But that being said, you really want to be careful of the protein powders that you use as well as the bars. So if we start with bars, if you turn a bar around and look at a lot of the ingredients, a lot of times they're very high in sugars. So you want to make sure that you're finding one that is low in sugar, that is higher in protein, at least 20 grams of protein in it. And as I said, like maybe 2 grams of sugar would be good, no more than that, as well as lower in carbohydrate. Well, it depends, on what you need at that moment for that meal. But as far as the carbohydrates go. So I quite often will lean into the one bars, ONE. I find them to be one of the better ones. A lot of people like Quest bars. The one thing that I will caution you about Quest bars is they have an ingredient in them. So here, let's talk net grams. Net grams. So who knows what a net gram is? Drop it in the comments. Do you know what a net gram is? If you know what a net gram is, drop it in the comments. Yes, I'm drinking an energy drink. We can talk about those too. Who knows? If you know what, okay, let's put it this way. If you have an idea of what a net carb is, drop a heart in the comments or say, I do. Let's start there. All right, guys, let's go. I'm back. Who's my second person? I had 3 people on here. Now I have Jennifer and I'm not sure, Kendra maybe. Oh, now I have 3 again. So guys, we're talking about protein bars and supplements right now. If you're just joining, please hashtag I am here and drop your name so that I know you're here. So to finish about net carbs. So when we're looking at protein bars, we talked about the protein. We want to make sure we have 20 grams of protein. And net carbs means there's an amount of carbs. Say, I don't even have one in front of me. Say there's 10 carbohydrates and then there's 5 grams of what they call fiber. They will tell you that the net grams are 5 because they say that what they're going on, a net carb is going on the fact that the fiber cancels out the carbohydrate. Now, I, for one, never count net carbs. I count the full carbs. So if it says it has 20 grams of carbs in it and it has 15 grams of fiber and they're saying that it nets out at 5 carbohydrates, I still count it as 20. I don't count net carbs. Why? Because they're still carbohydrates. They didn't just disappear because somebody put fiber in there. That would be like saying when I eat sweet potatoes and I eat broccoli, I have a net carbs because my broccoli has fiber. Who does that? So a lot of times I will caution you on the net carbs. Now, the other reason why I will caution you on net carbs, especially like with a Quest bar, there's an ingredient they use. It begins with an E. Can't pronounce it either. And it's what they use to create the fiber. It will quite often make you bloat or upset your stomach. So those are things you want to be careful. Now, the one bar doesn't use it, whatever that ingredient is, so it doesn't upset my stomach as much. Also, who's the guy that does Restaurant Impossible on the food show? Anybody know who that is? If you know who that is, he has glasses? What's his name? If you know his name, drop it down. But he's the guy that does Restaurant Impossible. You know when he goes into the restaurants, and they're like a mess, and he fixes them. He's got what's his name? Robert something. Yes. Okay, he makes a baked protein bar. It's called Fit Cruncher, I think, or something like that. That's actually a pretty good bar as well. His peanut butter and jelly is really good. He makes a really good one, and you can find them sometimes in gas stations. And then there's another one. Oh, that's not bad either. But anyway, so protein bars, back on the subject of protein bars, those are things that you want to look for. So now when we talk about protein shakes, yes, Crunch. Fit Crunch, that's what it is, Jennifer. His is pretty good too. It's a pretty good quality. Just remember, and I'm looking at the ingredients in it, so it's a higher quality. So now when you come to protein powders, so where you have to be really careful with protein powders is A lot of protein powders are made, or the protein is extracted using high heat. High heat to extract the protein into the powder will destroy the protein. Now, as you can imagine, a lot of manufacturers are just in a hurry, so they process under high heat for speed. The quality of the protein gets destroyed. What does that mean to you, the consumer? That means when it says there's 25 grams of protein in there, there might be 10. And the rest is created with fillers. So you really want to be careful with your protein powders. So I personally work with First Forum, and that's what I recommend to all my clients, the Formula One and Level One, which, by the way, are made by, ISO. Dynamize ISO is a pretty good one as well. I used to use Dynamize before. What sucks? What sucks, Jennifer? Oh, that all the proteins aren't created equal? Yeah, it's pretty common. So you really do want to go with a high quality brand. And if you're going to pay a lot of money, you want to make sure you're getting a quality protein. So First Form, Dynamize is pretty good. Body Tech is not bad. I think it's called Body Tech, comes in a blue container. I could run to my pantry and look, because I think I have a packet of it in there. But First Form is usually what I recommend. The other thing with protein powders, you want to pay attention to whether it's an isoprotein or if it is a meal replacement protein. Yes, exactly. No, an isoprotein. Nope, there's not actually less protein in an isolated protein. The difference between an isoprotein and a meal replacement protein isn't that, it's how it digests. So an isoprotein, an isolated protein, is what we call a fast digesting protein. And it's designed to digest very quickly and to get into the body very quickly. So it's really used predominantly after a workout. So it's designed that it's protein that you would drink after your workout, after your lift, that's going to get, especially by a lot of bodybuilders, it's going to get right into your muscles. So quickly feed the body after we just tore the muscles down. So that's what it's really meant for. Now you can drink it at any point in time, but it's very fast digesting. The con to it, if there was a con to an isolated protein, would be that because it's fast digesting, you don't stay full as long. So because it digests very quickly, like a vegetable would or a carbohydrate would, it leaves you hungrier faster than a meal replacement would. So a meal replacement protein powder, and when I say a meal replacement protein powder, I am not referring to a meal replacement shake. I'm talking about a meal replacement protein powder, which still will be predominantly protein and very low in carbohydrates, which is another thing that you want to look at with protein powders. But a meal replacement protein powder is just a slower digesting protein. It will digest like any other protein, chicken, fish, beef, any other lean protein. It's going to digest very slowly in the system, therefore keeping you full longer. Make sense? If that makes sense, please drop some fire in the comments. So I know I've got some people here. Let me hear you. I want to hear you. If that makes sense, let me know. And perfect. All right. Moving on. Hello, Nikki. All right. So moving on. So now when you're looking at protein, hello, Allison. When you're looking at proteins, not only do you want to look at the quality of the protein, is it a high quality protein? Is it a recognizable brand? And do your research on that. And now, does it have enough protein in it? At least 20 to 25 grams. Is it an ISO or a meal replacement? Okay, then the next thing that I started to lead into is you want to make sure that it's an actual protein powder. So there's meal replacement shakes. Maybe you're looking for that, but for the most part, you're looking for a protein shake. So that should be very low in sugar, just like your protein bars. You don't want anything that's higher than like 2-3 grams of sugar in it. And then I personally don't want my protein powders to have a whole lot of carbohydrates. I look for maximum 2-3 grams, maybe I should say, I'll say maximum of maybe 15 grams of carbohydrates, but I usually look for lower because I'm going to add my carbohydrates in a different way. Okay, I want to be able to add, because again, that's an artificial carbohydrate. So I want to be able to use that protein source, right, and create a shake utilizing good quality carbohydrates that are going to be quality energy, not short-lived energy that's going to give me a big glucose spike. I want something that's going to actually give me the energy, fuel me the way that I need to. So I'm going to be looking at putting berries in, or utilizing a rice cake. Or something of that sort. Sometimes I do use things like Ignition, which is a powder form. Okay, Ignition is that's by First Forum. And there's other, like Carbolite is another good brand out there. T-Max has one as well, but they are powder forms of carbohydrates made by a supplement company that you can utilize to boost your carbohydrates and intermix with your shakes to help fuel your body after a workout. But I predominantly will utilize something more like I said, rice cakes, fruit, banana, something of that sort. If a protein powder has a digestive enzyme in it, I would highly recommend it. So, great question, Nikki. If a protein powder has a digestive enzyme in it, would I still recommend taking digestive enzymes? Absolutely. You probably don't have to take one with that particular shake. However, I think that for a healthy gut, taking digestive enzymes at least 1 or 2 times a day is a good idea. Now, whether you get it in a powder form, such as greens, or like a green powder greens, meaning that's what I mean by that. So a lot of super foods like OptiGreens by First Form, they have digestive enzymes and probiotics in it. You can get that form, or whether you take a pill. But I suggest it a couple times a day, especially if you are on a good quality nutrition plan where your proteins are up. You want to make sure that your body is digesting those foods and really breaking down those nutrients and fueling your body with it versus just kind of getting stuck in your belly. Allison, you have Ignition. Oh, yes, you do. You know what? I haven't put it into your plan yet. And that's a really good question, Allison. So be very careful with those. So those of you that are in here that order for First Forum, they were giving Ignition away. They did not explain to any of you what it was. I actually had a little conversation with them about that. They just talked about it as a post-workout supplement. They didn't say anything. And if you don't turn the carton around and see that it has 40 grams of carbohydrates, now that's not a bad thing, but if that's not in your meal plan and you suddenly stick 40 grams of carbohydrates into your meal plan 7 days a week, what just happened? Yeah, so just be careful. Now, that being said, could you use it, Allison? Absolutely. And what I would say is remind me, and I'll make sure I work it into your plan, because the thing is what you want to do is you want to make sure when you use something like Ignition that you are actually counting those macros in your plan and you're not just adding it on like it doesn't have any calories or carbohydrates or macros or anything, because those things will add up. If Marian was in here, she would tell you what happens when you add collagen to your plan and it's not in there and it's got 80 calories in it. And that's really, I don't know if she's here. If she's here, she would tell the story, but she was maintaining her weight, which was fine. She was doing a great job of maintaining her weight. She looked good. She was cutting back down. And I was like a little stumped. I was like, God, she wants to lean out. And I'm like, she should still be leaning out. She looks good. I can see her building muscle, but she's not leaning out exactly the way we want her to. And then I started like really diving into what she was doing as far as her nutrition. I started looking a little closer at it, and she was adding a collagen peptide into her plan. And when I looked at it, it had like 80 calories in it. And I was like, girl, you're putting 80 calories into your diet, not once a day, but twice a day, 7 days a week. Somebody have a calculator and want to add that up and how many calories she was adding to her plan. I think so 200 calories a day she was basically adding, and that can add up over time. Okay, Allison has free t-shirt. Yes, Nikki, that they are. I will tell you guys, Nikki just brought that up. First, if you don't use I will drop the link after here, being we're talking a lot about supplements for those of you that aren't familiar I'll drop you the link for First Forum, but I will tell you guys, they are probably one of the best customer service clients out there. Like Nikki said, they give out free t-shirts with X amount of orders. They give you handwritten notes, like literally handwritten notes with your orders. I don't know about anybody else in here that orders from them, but I got 2 personal videos. One sent text message to me, and then one tagged me on Instagram and sent me a video from the warehouse saying, hey, this is so-and-so from the warehouse, Jules. I'm packing your order right now. Sorry for the delay. It's going out. And I was like, oh, thank you. They have super cute sports bra. I just got one. I wonder what one you want, Allison. Nikki, 1,000-ish. Okay, I got to keep going back and see. I got a free t-shirt. Totally saw that. Okay, what are you, Nikki? Can you ask what is 1,000-ish? Oh, you were adding it up. Yes, thank you. Crazy, isn't it? Yes. All right. What other questions do you guys have for me? So we just talked about protein bars and protein as supplementing for meals. So again, guys, as I said, I think the original question was from you, Jennifer. You asked about meal replacements with proteins and carbohydrates, or with protein bars and protein powders, and was it okay? So in the beginning, guys, like I said, always best to eat your food, but I would suggest that a bar or a protein shake is better than nothing if you don't have the food with you. Cool? Any other questions, guys? This is your chance. I'm looking through to see if I had any others as I drink a Ghost. This is the best energy. It tastes just like an orange-sicle or whatever those things were when we had kids. You know, those little slushy things that had the little slide up? They were orange flavored. I'm probably D. Yeah. This tastes just like it. New comments. Creamsicle. Yes. Thank you, Nikki. That's it. Those things. Yes. It's very hard to find, but it's called Orange Cream, and it's by Ghost. I love it. I have one a day. So this is my second today, but it's been a day. Speaking of push-ups. Oh, that could have been it too. It was something like that. So being that I happen to have an energy drink, by the way, in my defense, I have already drinking 1.25 gallons of water today. Okay. So I usually don't allow myself to have, I have a rule with myself. I have to have so much water gone before I can have anything other over my regular morning caffeine. I have over 1 gallon of water in today, so I decided I could have another one. But you do have to be careful with energy drinks too. I will say Ghost is actually a pretty good one. It's the newest one that I have tried. And you guys can do those too, as long as you count them as caffeine. Bang. And you can use them as pre-workouts too. So if you want a pre-workout, I quite often, that's what I'll use them as a pre-workout. I don't always take pre-workout. I will take a pump product which is probably something that many of you, may not be interested in, but I'll take like a pump product that pumps blood, helps to pump to create open basically what a pump product does, if anybody's curious, now that I brought it up, it opens up your blood vessels so the blood can pump very quickly into your muscles when you're lifting. So if you've ever heard of somebody saying chasing a pump or getting the pump, that's what they're looking for. And they've got a pump that's from the muscle getting blood flow to it, and it creates a pump in the muscle. And well, one would think that that is just something that we bodybuilders do for vanity. It really is not. It actually helps to increase and build the muscle. So I will use a pump product, and then as my pre-workout, I will usually use either Bang used to be my go-to. I don't drink that anymore. Now it's either Rain or I do Ghost, one or the other. All right. Was any of that interesting? Being I went off on that. And energy. Who wants to know why I don't drink Bang? Who likes Bang? Who knows what Bang is? Creamsicle, push-ups. Well, I'll tell you anyway. So if you do happen to like Bang and you've ever wondered like why you've gotten like a bloaty, funky feeling after you've drinking it, however you say it, it has creatine in it. And creatine doesn't always sit right with everybody. So creatine is used to also help build muscle. It's a amino acid. I personally don't like it. And that's why I don't ever give it to any of you guys. I just don't like the effects of it. It can tend to bloat, make me swell. It can cause a lot of inflammation, and it can do it in different people. Men don't usually have as big a problem with it as women do. And it has creatine in it, so that's usually why I don't drink Bang. Questions? I'm waiting. Who wants to know about my crazy ass week? Push-up pops. You guys are just sitting here listening to me. I have 4 people. Who's all here? Guys, hashtag I am here. So many questions about creatine, jerky, creatine. I'm just not a fan, Allison. I'm just really not. Like I said, I don't like the inflammation that it causes, and I don't really feel like it's necessary if you're eating a good, like I think it's old school. It's definitely old school. That doesn't mean that old school there's anything wrong with it, but I think there's just so many other things that have come out, that are much more advanced. And I just personally, not saying that there's nothing wrong with it, I don't like the effect that it has on me. I will get very watery and very swollen, and I don't like the feel. I mean, it's just a temporary thing, but that's just an effect that creatine has on me. It's just something that, you can try it. You can take it post-workout, but if you feel like you're a little, like I said, swollen, inflammation, things like that, it could be the effect of the creatine. You need a good way to explain it. And I think you nailed it with the inflammation and swelling point. Oh, okay. Well, good. I'm glad I helped. Okay. Somebody just asked, what are my thoughts on beef jerky? Okay. So any type of, if you are in a pinch and you need some protein or you want a salty snack, reach for some beef jerky. Just watch the sugar count in it. And I would actually go for probably turkey jerky before I would, as long as, just look at the back of it. But as with anything that comes in a package, it's what? It begins with a P. If it comes in a package, it's processed. So obviously, you want to lean towards something else, right? A cleaner version of the food. But in a pinch, or if you're looking for something salty, yep, it's processed. Certainly, but I certainly wouldn't do it a lot. Have I eaten beef jerky? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I eat turkey jerky because it could be a good source of protein if you're in a pinch. But always read the back of the package. A lot of jerkies will be high in sugar, so you want to make sure that they're not high in sugar. And then the other thing that you really need to watch for, and it's super hard to avoid in jerky, which is why I would limit it, is the salt. It's going to be, and like, while I tell you guys have salt, you're not going to put so much salt on your food. There's no way you're going to put the amount of salt on your food because you're not going to like the way it tastes that is actually in that jerky or something like that. So there's a lot of sodium in jerky, so just be careful of it, or make sure you drink a lot of water after you had it. Does that make sense, Nikki? So there's nothing really wrong with it. And it does work in a pinch, and I've done it before. Or if I've had a salty, like I would, if I'm craving salt, I would lean towards that before I would, a bag of chips. Perfect. Other questions? Let me keep going up. Jerky, what are my thoughts on so many questions on creatine, push-ups, creamsicles? But Nikki, if you're not going to eat your food, I need you to drink your protein. Exactly. New comments. All right. You sent me a recipe on IG. I want your thoughts. If you could, if you think, well, where did on Instagram? Just now? So sheesh. Can I look into that a little bit more detail after? Oh, the banana. Sure, the bananas and the egg. Here's going to be that actually looks quite healthy, Nikki. So, and I've seen these before. I've seen how they make these before. And yeah, add the stevia in. You just got to count it into your macros. So like I don't know if you can see it. She sent me on some muffins. So this definitely is going to be a much better version than if you were to make the real thing. And you'll often see these on TikToks and things like that, where they'll make something with a banana. They utilize a banana a lot, but just remember the banana, well, it is a fruit. And while I do put it in some of your meal plans, it is high in fructose. So it will spike you. All right. So you just got to remember that it's got a lot of carbs to it. I mean, even though it's a fruit, and it does have quite a bit of sugar, even though it's a natural sugar in it. So that's it. So just make sure it fits into your macros, but it definitely is a healthier option, and it looks pretty yummy. You can sometimes find on MyFitnessPal, the app, the nutrition, and I think I actually believe the nutrition tracker in the app might do the same thing that MyFitnessPal does. You enter the ingredients in and as a recipe, and it'll spit the macros out for you. And if it fits your macros, yes, it would just be like a refeed meal, Nikki. Yeah, that's totally cool. On your high plan. Yep. So if you wanted to give yourself a free refeed and have one of those on your high once a week on your, you totally could. That's a better option than anything. That's a great option. What other questions, or who else wants to send me something on IG? I'm here for you today. Almost forgot about you. I was busy writing meal plans. It's been a week, guys. And it's a full moon tonight. Charge your crystals. What other questions do you guys have? I don't see any others. You have me for a whole 30 minutes and well, actually we're over 30 minutes now and that you didn't have any questions. All right. So I just realized I went over my time. So guys, if you don't have any other questions, I certainly hope this was, oh, wait a minute, helpful to you. I hope this was helpful to you guys. I'm going to try to do these a little bit more often. Usually I have a topic to talk about, but I think I'm going to be throwing a Q&A in every once in a while so you guys have the opportunity to ask me questions. But I will say, for those of you that are watching, that are clients of mine, y'all been kicking ass this week. I'm telling you, I'm pretty impressed. You're welcome, Jennifer, and we will see you soon. All right, guys. But anyway, yes, you're all kicking ass. I'm super proud of you. Nikki, I am so glad you enjoyed your vacation, and I'm sorry for hunting you down. I really just didn't know where I should have probably guessed by watching your story, but at least you know I have my eye on you. So guys, thank you. You did a really great job. You're all doing amazing. And if you have any other questions or if you watch this on the replay, please drop them in the comments and I will make sure that I answer them. But for those of you that came, thank you and have an amazing rest of your evening. Peace, love, and protein. See you later.